they were able to create the perception that, okay, this is icky, it's bad, it's illegal, it's immoral. But he was taking girls who were technically of age and getting them to do massages. Well, in the reality, it was way worse. I mean, he was exploiting vulnerable girls who were underage, not just in Florida, but all around the world when you think about what was happening. Here's a guy who had his own college, a music video, a ranch in Mexico, he had the island. And, the federal government suggests there are up to 1,000 victims of this. And I still have conversations with lawyers who represent some of these people, hoping that, some of these people will ultimately talk. So I'm not giving up on it. I was a little late to the game on the story. Obviously, it's interesting to me because of all the other work I've done in catching predators. He is the ultimate predator. Do they subpoena Ghislaine Maxwell in front of Congress? I mean, she's the one who knows everything. She was the procurer.
Everything.
I mean, I know for a fact that she would hang out near college campuses, bus stops, things, and approach girls, much like a woman would do in a county jail who was tight with a pimp and say, you're in a tough shape. Well, I can get you out of there, make some quick money. And then next thing you know, you're in a life of human trafficking and prostitution. This recruitment was at the same level, and she was engaged in it. There's no doubt.
So this mental illness, I'm assuming it's a mental illness.
Well, it's that. It's a criminal.
It doesn't care about your status. It doesn't care about your money. You said you've had rabbis come in. We're talking about people who are revered in society and everything else, priests and all these other things we hear about. And it's just whatever. You've seen them from the top of the top all the way down. So what is it that parents should look out for?
Well, I think if the child is getting close to anybody you don't know in real life, if the child is getting gifts, if the child has got money that you didn't give the child, those are all warning signs. And the child should be on your radar.
Well, my daughter goes to a sleepover. I want to know. My daughter's mom sometimes thinks I overdo it, but I want to know: is there an uncle that lives over there?
Yeah,
you got
to know who's you have every right to ask that question, because I've seen the stories and the cases where the dad is hosting the divorced dad is hosting the
That's
sleepover.
Me. I have sleepovers
girls
at my house, and I make sure I say, would you like to come in?
Yeah.
Would you like to come see my home? Make sure you know it's safe, what we're doing here. I'll give you a tour of the building, all of that. Also, as a single dad, I never thought anyone would ever let me have a sleepover, but I just had one a couple weeks ago, and the parents came over and they're like, yep, no problem. We know. Also, I mean, I am a very easily Googleable person who you could find pretty quickly, unlike some of these people who probably vanish into the night. But I want to know if you're sleeping over there, who's over there? Is there a grandfather that lives in the house? It's always a dude. Right. I always want to know if that uncle's staying over
unless it's
or whatever.
A teacher.
Yeah, unless it's a teacher. Yeah. This has been great, man. Thank you so much for doing this.
The opportunity to be here, Ryan. It is great to see you and hang out and do all this.
Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear advice you would give to 16-year-old Chris Hansen.
16-year-old Chris Hansen. I would tell 16-year-old Chris Hansen that perpetual optimism is a force multiplier.
Damn.
And that comes from Colin Powell, our former Secretary of State.
Say it again.
Perpetual optimism is a force multiplier.
I like that.
It's one of Colin Powell's 13 rules of success. It ain't as bad as it looks. It'll look better in the morning. Be demanding of yourself, understanding of others, those things. It's really a brilliant list. I mean, I have it on my dresser. I look
I'm
at it
going to look it up now.
You should.
That's great.
And also, the thing that I've come to rely upon is a sense of stoicism. If you read, there's a book that everybody should read. It's called The Book of Charlie. And it's about a guy who lived to be 109 years old or something like that. He was a doctor, and the story of his life, but it gets into stoicism and Marcus Aurelius, and it sent me down this path. And I've shared this with countless people. My friends are tired of hearing about it, right? My wife is tired of hearing about it. Everybody's tired of hearing about it. But it really And you hear Jerry Seinfeld talk about it. It's like, all right, it's not that important what other people say about you. You need to do your job the way you know how to do your job, whether you're a comedian, whether you're a podcast host, whether you're a journalist, whether you're a cop, whatever you're doing. Focus on what's important. Focus on what you need to do, not what the other noise is. And it's especially important to teach kids that. It doesn't matter what some jerk is saying online. It's pretend. Somebody used to say about Twitter, now X, Twitter's going to hate that. Twitter hates everything.
Everything.
Those people are not real. They're not real.
They're not real.
Who's real? You're sitting here. You're real.
Yeah.
Our families are real. Our kids are real. But tune out the noise.
That's great. Thank you so much for doing this.
Ryan,
I'm really glad you did this. Right there again, one more time. Promote everything you'd like.
True Blue, TRUBLU. Watch TrueBlue.com for details. New Predator investigations called Takedown. Drop every Thursday. The podcast is Predators I've Caught. And soon have a seat with Chris Hansen as well, wherever you get your podcasts.
This is great. Thank you so